So there have been many rumors floating around the web as of Kylo Ren's fate in The Force Awakens. Last we see of Kylo Ren, he has a nasty scar across his face given to him by Rey in a lightsaber duel, and he's laying in the snow of the Starkiller base as the base is being destroyed. During this time, we actually see General Hux walk into the hologram room of Supreme Leader Snoke where he says that they've been defeated, at which point Supreme Leader Snoke orders Hux to go get Kylo Ren and to bring him to him to complete his training. Also during this time, Rey and Finn are being rescued by Chewbacca via the Millennium Falcon. So there have been rumors floating around that Kylo Ren actually was not able to escape the Starkiller base before it was destroyed, since the time period seems to be very, very short, and it seems a little unlikely that he could have made it to a ship with General Hux before the planet was destroyed. We actually see Rey, Finn, and Chewbacca leave basically immediately, and even they were cutting it very short. So this has understandably led many to believe that Kylo Ren met his ultimate fate on the Starkiller base. Now obviously I don't agree with this at all because I have theories about what Kylo Ren's role might be in future episodes. I'd like to talk about in Star Wars in general, time is always left a little bit ambiguous. For example, Luke's training with Yoda on Dagobah seems to be a very short amount of time in The Empire Strikes Back, when in reality it was actually a few weeks. Another example is when Han Solo, Luke, and the others were traveling to Alderaan. That time period actually takes place between a few days to a week. It's not actually shown to be that long, but in reality that's how long it took. And these are various examples on how time in Star Wars has been a little bit different, how we kind of look at it. Now that's not that the universe's time is any different, that's just a fact on how the movies have played out. Basically, the point I'm trying to get across is that Kylo Ren and General Hux most likely had more than enough time to escape the Starkiller base before it exploded. Since stated by J.J. Abrams himself, Kylo Ren at the end of this movie is an incomplete character. I do believe that we will be seeing him in future films, and if we don't see a character die on screen, that means that they still have a very high likelihood of coming back for future movies. That's just the rule of thumb in all films. I also think that if Kylo Ren were to die in Star Wars The Force Awakens, it would be made very obvious by J.J. Abrams, and J.J. Abrams wouldn't have set up Supreme Leader Snoke talking about completing Kylo's training if he had indeed died. I believe that if Kylo Ren did die, Supreme Leader Snoke would have sensed that without a shadow of a doubt. In fact, we even see Leia sensing Han's death in The Force Awakens. But now that I've given you my thoughts on it and what I think, saying that I do think that he is indeed alive, let's for a second think of a what-if scenario. What if Kylo Ren had died on the Starkiller base, and what will the future episodes look like if that was his ultimate fate? So, if Kylo Ren did indeed die, and again, I don't think that he did, this would not mean the end of the First Order because their leader, Supreme Leader Snoke, is still left intact. Also, we know that the organization, the Knights of Ren, which I assume are Darkside users, are also still intact. I'd also like to touch on a line between Supreme Leader Snoke and Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, where Supreme Leader Snoke states that Kylo Ren is a master of the Knights of Ren, and I'd also like to talk about what this may mean a little bit. The big question I have here is Kylo Ren the main leader of the Knights of Ren, or is he one of many masters in the organization? If Kylo Ren is indeed the sole master of the Knights of Ren, I assume that another member would take his spot at Supreme Leader Snoke's side. But the thing I find even more interesting than that is that Kylo Ren would not be one of the sole masters of the Knights of Ren, but rather a master of the Knights of Ren, leaving us open for other Darkside users to come in and be just as big a threat as Kylo Ren was in The Force Awakens in future Star Wars episodes. We all know that Benicio del Toro has been cast in Star Wars Episode 8 as one of the villains, and what I suggest is that he could possibly be one of the masters of the Knights of Ren. He also could be one of the members that stands up to take Kylo Ren's place as the master of the Knights of Ren. Now, again, this is an organization of Darkside users, which is what I'm assuming and what everyone else is assuming. That means that there's various other Force sensitives out there that use the dark side that we haven't seen. There's a plethora of other characters that we haven't seen that could come up to be Kylo Ren caliber and join with Supreme Leader Snoke at his side to take on the new Resistance and the new Jedi, Rey. The Knights of Ren are only briefly glanced in The Force Awakens, and that's done completely on purpose. They're being saved for future episodes as future villains and a bigger threat than we've ever seen before. In my mind, that's the only alternative to Kylo Ren surviving, although that's very unlikely as well, is I suggest that another member of the Knights of Ren come up to take Kylo Ren's place and try to destroy the Resistance on their own. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, I think that KYLO Ren is definitely alive and that he will be appearing in the other Star Wars episodes as our main villain. So, thank you as always so much for watching. May the Force be with you. Leave in the comments whatever you would like, and have a great day.